And I am live. Hi, my name is Tyriece Simon, and this is the MMA Renegade episode 15. How you doing today, guys? Let's see, Flathead Politics is already in the chat, already saying Brunson can't honestly think with a performance like that he's beat. He will beat Stylebender. You won, bro. But seriously, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get how you guys doing? How you guys doing? My name is Tyriece Simon here of the MMA Renegade podcast, YouTube channel, whatever you want to call this. Um, First solo show doing the recaps though. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. Let's have Flat Politics already in the chat. Um, Dude, what can we say? First of all, Blonde Brunson is for real. Blonde Brunson is for real. Blonde Brunson may be the MMA equivalent to Hoodie Mello. If you know Carmelo Anthony, you know NBA. The thing is Hoodie Mello. That's God tier. That's the best. Whenever Carmelo Anthony has a hoodie on, he's gonna put in this great performance. I think we can now say Blonde Brunson is now a thing. I think it's fair to say that Blonde Brunson is a thing, and he is to be goated. And we'll get into that all. But how you guys doing today? MC Flat Politics is saying. Let's see. Patty is the Conor replacement and the new face of the UFC now. We'll get into that in a second. Before we get into anything, I want to say thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking the videos. We appreciate you. Again, it's going to be a new start for me a little bit, doing the thing solo more often, putting out content more often, doing prediction shows, everything like that, more solo. So I appreciate you guys joining me on this journey. And I know you're going to hear some clanging and banging going on. People are preparing for a barbecue and shit like that. So out of my control, but I like good food. So here we are. But let's get into it. Right? So Blonde Brunson beats Darren Till, which I predicted, I think I predicted Blonde Brunson beats Darren Till. I don't know if it said Blonde, I think it said Derek Brunson, but Blonde Brunson. His name is now Blonde Brunson. Blonde Brunson beats Darren Till by a third round Renegade choke submission. What to say about this, man? My gosh. In the last video, if you've seen the prediction show, I said just how good is Darren Till? And I gave the reasons why as to, why, you look back at Darren Till's run to the title and the people he beat and that the way he beat them, there are some questionable things there. And I even though he did win, the thought process came to my mind is like, did the UFC rush Darren Till too soon? Right? Did Darren Till beat a couple of guys that were unranked before fighting Don Cerrone? And if you remember Don Cerrone back in 2017, Don Cerrone had, was fighting often, like often. He fought Matt Brown in December, fought Jorge Masvidal in January, fought Robbie Lawler in July, and then fought Darren Till. So Don Cerrone was on a different level, on a whole different type of schedule, which, ultimately I think kind of hurt his UFC running career towards trying to climb the rankings of the welterweight division, and also moving forward. And then Darren Till beat Stephen Thompson, but it's a split decision, and some people had Stephen Thompson winning. And then Darren Till's had his troubles with Tyron Woodley, of course, Jorge Masvidal, and he beats Kelvin Gastelum, but that split decision as well is not definitive, and people could go either way with that. And then we have Robert Whitaker, who so he's fighting the best of the best of the best, but we're not seeing what we thought we were going to see with Darren Till and what the UFC was bringing to the table with Darren Till. And so this was a big test for Darren Till. The more pressure was on Darren Till, more fans were picking Darren Till to win. The fans at the Apex, UFC Apex, were picking Darren Till to win. You could hear them cheering for Darren Till. The people that are fighting from the UK, like Paddy Pimblett, Molly McCann, Tom Aspinall, all on the card at the same time, all getting their win. So the pressure's on Darren Till. And Darren Till, I think we could definitively say Darren Till was pushed way too soon, way too hard, and he is in the same space as Kelvin Gastelum, more so Kevin Lee, where they were pushed so soon and pushed so hard and pushed to the top, where now when they're not able to deal with the top oppositions, now they're in a rough spot of like, where can they go? We know Darren Till's good. Darren Till is good. I'm gonna get to the fight in a second. We know Darren Till is good, but the question is just how good is he to his peers? And I think yesterday we got a clear indication that he may not be top 5 level right now. He may not be rankings wise, in that place right now. Maybe he needs to take a step back after this fight, which we'll get into in a second. But a lot of stuff showed yesterday where it's like, yeah, Darren Till is in a rough spot, and I'm gonna get to his comments before the fight. I thought his comments were interesting regarding Charles Oliveira and Michael Bisping and Dustin Poirier. But yeah, let's get into it. So off the bat, I thought that Derek Brunson, I thought keys to victory for him would be using his grappling, using his wrestling. People in the chat, please let us know what you think as well. Flat Posiori says Brunson's ground game was tremendous, but that standard was lacking compared to other fights. Something was off. Yeah, so Flathead, in the post fight, Derek Brunson did say he was injured going into this fight. He said he had a torn, I think it's labrum. I think that's what he said. I could be wrong, but he was injured for sure. He said that, and he talked about how he could barely do everyday things leading up to the fight, and training was an issue. So I wanted to give Brunson a pass on that, because the Brunson I've seen of late has been a lot more reserved, has been a lot more calculative. And we did see Derek Brunson use the grappling as well, which I thought was going to be a factor in this fight. Like, Derek Brunson has gone back to using his wrestling, not just trying to rush in and trying to knock somebody out. No, he's being more calculated. He's looking for takedown. If you go back and watch the Emma Shabazian fight, you go see how the Emma Shabazian fight kind of mirrored this fight in a way where Derek Brunson's ground and pound and able to use his wrestling, and especially when I brought up in the prediction show, Derek Brunson was the bigger fighter, but also his reach, and he does a great job of on the ground using his long arms to be able to land hard shots where somebody else landing those shots, maybe it doesn't generate as much force. Because it's Derek Brunson, he has his long arms, he's able to kind of go down a little bit and hook hit shots, and able to come with these elbows and everything like that. So kind of plays with his advantage on the ground, which I love. I thought the clinch was going to be a big thing with Derek Brunson, and he may not be able to get the takedown from far away, but in the clinch, being able to get the takedowns. I thought Derek Brunson's the jabs. I was surprised he didn't want to use the jab to try to set things up. I will say him lunging for takedowns at one point, that looked very, very bad. I was expecting more outside leg kicks. But overall, I think Derek Brunson played a great game plan. And I think what it ultimately comes down to, and you could say, I'll get to in a second about Stylebender, what it comes down to is Darren Till. And Darren Till seems to be stuck in the same space he was, during his welterweight run, where Darren Till is almost predictable in what you could see him doing, right? Now you could see Darren Till trying to load up for the 1-2. You can see Darren Till, not really. I thought he did use a little bit more footwork this time around. I thought that I thought that I liked his leg kicks later on in the fight. I wish he would have did that more. I was thinking about like, why don't I would love to see Darren Till switch stances a little bit and kind of cause some disruption, because he stays in that same stance and he tries to walk you down. Which, I mean, Darren Till has power. Darren Till has power. He can be precise with his strikes. But if you can see the 1-2 happening and you notice it's coming up, and especially with the takedown defense, it's predictable in a way. It's very predictable. We know his stance. We know he's going to walk forward. We know how he's going to move forward towards you. He's not going to check the leg kicks. He's not going to throw kicks of his own. So, like, you could see all the things and prepare for Darren Till a lot more than you could probably do for Derek Brunson. I thought Darren Till, just that part of his game and has not evolved to where like he throws more than a 1-2, where he doesn't throw jabs to kind of set things up, or he doesn't throw kicks to the body with those long legs. He has those long legs, those thick legs, and doesn't really use them. Doesn't really use leg kicks at all, which I find that's I don't know why his coaching team or himself is not utilizing that more to try to throw people off a little bit. Lab Pasta says Brunson rarely used his jab or his right hand at all. He threw that slow left from downtown a few times with his right hand. I think so. I think that's what he said in the post show. I gotta go back and watch. But I think that's what he said. He definitely did say he was injured, and he definitely did say that he had a hard time putting a seatbelt on. So I think that kind of lines up with what I think he did tear something in his shoulder, or his arm, or whatever. But yeah, I think that does line up. But even that, like I thought Darren Till on the feet, I thought he had an advantage. And I thought he hurt Derek Brunson a couple of times as well. It's just Darren Till, for some reason, it's just not all there. It's just not all there. Like he doesn't go to the body. He doesn't do, he doesn't mix things up. He just goes with the same stick every single time. And when it becomes like that, you could see it coming. You can predict these things. You could try to work around it, which Derek Brunson did. He went for a double leg, scooped the legs underneath, has his long arms to do so, was able to take him down easily. And once on the ground, that's another part of Darren Till's game, which you could go back and watch the Tyron Woodley fight. It doesn't seem like Darren Till has evolved in that either. Which at that time, we said the same thing about Darren Till. We said, okay, he lost this fight, but now he knows. Now he's been on the ground before. Now he knows how to deal with that. Now he'll practice that, and he'll work that out. He probably did, but it's just not on the level of his peers. And again, it goes back to just how good is Darren Till to his peers. I think we've got a clear answer of Darren Till may not be as good as his peers right now. Like once on the ground, it didn't seem like he was trying to. There was an urgency to try to get up. It didn't seem like there was. And I think Derek Brunson did give him a couple of moments where there were gaps in between them where he could have sprung up or try to explode out. And I think that Derek Brunson also, kind of gave him an easy out, because there were moments where Derek Brunson himself, like I said, giving him space, just step back and just let Darren Till get up. But other than that, Derek Brunson had him in control. He was able to get full guard. He was able to almost get top mount, I believe, at one point as well. He was just all over him. And we go back and look at that finish, right? So the finish happens. Darren Till gives his back. Darren Till flattens himself out, and then Derek Brunson puts the choke in, and without maybe not fighting the hands, not maybe a minute or 2 minutes go by, or scratch that, maybe 20 seconds, Darren Till taps. And maybe it was just the exhaustion. But I also know Derek Brunson was tired too. But it just seemed like Darren Till he was outclassed, and it seemed like we're still getting the same Darren Till we got from the Tyron Woodley. You go back and watch that fight, you can go see how that was. And I think Darren Till gave even more of a fight and tried to fight the hands a little bit more in that fight. This time he didn't even fight the hands. Derek Brunson just sunk it in, and within 3 seconds or 5 seconds or however seconds it was, Darren Till taps. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's the attempt. Darren Till didn't attempt to fight the hands. Darren Till, flattened himself out. Darren Till gave up his own back, and it seemed like Darren Till, and one of the weak parts of Darren Till we've seen in the past is his ground game. It seemed like he's just not there yet with this level of appearance. Again, just how good Darren Till is. So it's tough, and now we get into the reality of it. Darren Till is ranked, I believe, in his top 7. Is ranked number 7 in the middleweight division. I don't know where Darren Till goes from here. Maybe you do the Darren Till versus Kelvin Gastelum rematch. Maybe you look outside. Maybe you do Darren Till versus Kevin Holland. Right? Give Darren Till somebody that is going to strike with you, is willing to play that game, and Kevin Holland is a good striker. It's an entertaining fight. That could be a great main event. And I think that's a good fight for Darren Till right now. Fight somebody outside the top 10. Fight at Kevin Holland and again work on those things. I'm going to believe Kevin Holland is going to work on his grappling now too. Kevin Holland is going to be working on that. So his peers are going to look at Darren Till and going to find, okay, I may not stand with you. I'm going to take you down to the ground. If you're not prepared to do that, then you'll be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. Flat Politics says, at the end of the first round, Till told his corner that Brunson was tired. His head wasn't in the game. And he wasn't seeing the reality of the situation. No, I think I think he did see the reality of the situation. I think he did see Darren Brunson tired because Brunson was tired. Brunson was tired. See, I said Derek Brunson for a second. Brunson. It's Brunson now, damn it. Brunson was tired. It's just that Darren Till, I thought Darren Till, had a somewhat good second round, and I thought his best round was the third a little bit because he had him hurt. It's just that Till again, I think he gets to a point where he has the look. He has the skill set. He has the power. He has all that. It's just everybody else has more. Everybody else has a little bit more than that. Everybody else has a little bit more skill to the table. Everybody has a little bit more to offer. The power that you have. There's other people in that division, especially in the top 5, that have that power. So what can you do to improve on yourself and make yourself better to where you can be on those levels? Maybe it is using that stance and using more body kicks. Maybe that is throwing more leg kicks, which I thought he did well in the third round. Maybe that is throwing jabs or trying to throw shots to the body, try to mix things up so then you can probably hit the 1-2 later on in the fight and it can land to open things up. Maybe that is throwing knees up the middle. Maybe that is. I thought at one point he showed great takedown defense. It's just the fact of, can you keep doing that, and can you not be as predictable? I would love to see Darren Till utilize more teep kicks or kicks to the body. Again with those long legs. And I would love to see him be able to switch stances and throw off his opponents as well. Like these are things that I think Darren Till can utilize in his overall tool set to make him more of a challenge to his opposition. Because right now, you can see what Darren Till is going to do. You can see what Darren Till is going to bring to the table, and you can prepare for that a lot easier, which I thought Derek Brunson did, even if he was hurt. So for Darren Till, man, I would love to see the UFC give him somebody like Kevin Holland, let him fight somebody that's willing to stand and trade. Kevin Holland's a good talker. That'll be an easy main event for a fight night. Definitely will be something where it'll gravitate people. It'll get MMA fans' attention as well with both their styles as well. So you can get an entertaining fight. And man, I would not give Darren Till anybody that's in the top 5, anybody that you would deem could be a legit threat if you're trying to make Darren Till somebody that could fight for a title once again. Because I think maybe he can get back to that, but if he keeps fighting guys within the top 5, he keeps fighting guys within that are a lot more well-rounded than he is, he's going to get chewed up and swallowed out, and you're gonna find Darren Till maybe out of the UFC at one point. Because at what point do you not look at Darren Till and say we probably got the best we've got out of him as of right now. It's been how many years? 3 years, and we're seeing Darren Till do the same exact thing, and doesn't seem like he's evolving yet. And again, these things can change. Darren Till can come back against Kevin Holland and put out a great performance, and he's right back in the races. But Darren Till has to consistently do that, and he has to consistently be that guy that the UFC was trying to push. So time will tell. Time will tell. For Blind Brunson, man, I would not be mad at them giving him Israel Adesanya. I would not be mad at him giving Till is a veteran, knows what needs to happen versus Blind Brunson. He just didn't utilize his tool set. Yes, I think you're right. I think but what is in his tool? What is in his tool set? Is the question, right? What is in Till's tool set? I can say what could be in his tool set. I could say what he should be able to do and work on and try to do in his fights. But maybe and this go back to how good as he is against his opposition. Maybe that's not in his tool set, which is a big problem. For Blind Brunson, though, I think Blind Brunson could fight Israel Adesanya. I think that could happen. I think he's on a 5-fight win streak. He's fought up the rankings. And again, this kind of goes back to what I'm going to say in a second. He's fought up the rankings, and he has the loss against Israel Adesanya. That was, what was that, 3 years ago now? 3 years ago, 4 years ago now? When was that fight? Let me see real quick while I'm here. Let me see. Derek Brunson. So Derek Brunson's been on a win streak. He changed his camp too. So that storyline there as well. 2018. So we're talking about 3 years. So it's been 3 years since then. Obviously, Israel Adesanya is not the same fighter. Obviously, Derek Brunson is not the same fighter. It seems like now. I think that fight can be promoted. Maybe not a main event. Maybe it could be a co-main event, but they can do that fight if Whitaker is not ready, or what have you. But I think you can viably do that fight. Or you could do Derek Brunson versus Jared Cannonier, and then the winner of that fights for the title next. You can also do that as well. But I think that Blind Brunson, I keep saying Derek Brunson. I got used to saying Blind Brunson. Blind Brunson can definitely fight for a title. Izzy tweeted out the video clip of him KOing Blonde the last time they met. Blonde had better get his stand-up issues fixed before fighting Stylebender. Agreed. I think I would still favor Izzy to beat Blind Brunson. Yeah, I think I would still favor Izzy to beat Blind Brunson. But even though I do favor Izzy, it doesn't negate that I still think that Blind Brunson should fight for the title. To just have the opportunity to fight for the title, and we'll see what we see. I think he deserves that opportunity. Even though we may know the result, I think he does deserve the chance and the opportunity because he has earned it. He's beaten 5. He's on a 5-fight win streak. I don't think anybody in the middleweight division can say that right now. So yeah, I think he's earned it. And for Till, man, Till had a great quote. I wish I had the quote up here. I gotta prepare for these shits more. I'm doing this shit by myself, so I gotta get used to this. But Till had a great quote, and it was, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines of Charles Oliveira, he would lose, win, lose, win again, and win again, lose. So he's basically saying that people that were champions, that became champions, like a Charles Oliveira, like a Dustin Poirier, like a Michael Bisping, they were able to lose and be able to get back up and eventually become champion. And he finds inspiration in that, which I think is great. I'm glad he has that mindset. The issue with that mindset, though, is unlike Charles Oliveira, unlike Dustin Poirier, unlike Michael Bisping, even. I think Michael Bisping kind of was pushed a little bit, but unlike those guys, Darren Till was pushed way faster, way sooner, promoted a lot more, pushed a lot more, and now like Darren Till got a title shot years before Charles Oliveira did. Like Darren Till was put in a spotlight a lot sooner than all three of those gentlemen. So even though Darren Till is right in the fact that, you know, people lose and sometimes they win and then they finally get that title shot. Look at Anthony Smith as, again, someone that has been, you know, has fought his way up and found a title shot, later in his career. Even though that's the case, they were not pushed the way Darren Till is, and that's the issue. Darren Till was pushed way too quick, way too soon. Was given tough opponents way too soon, and he won those. He did win those. He beat Don Cerrone. He beat Stephen Thompson. He earned that. But if you're trying to make a star, if you're trying to make a star or make a valuable contender, these are the issues you run against when you try to push somebody that has an audience and has a fan base, and fits that look of what you're trying to do. This is what happened with they haven't been not say proven, but they haven't been through it and haven't developed enough to be able to say they're ready to be championship level worthy. Which the champion will probably be the most well-rounded guy in the division. And I like Darren Till was pushed, beat Don Cerrone. You look at Don Cerrone again. I went that before. You watch prediction show. I went to all of Don Cerrone's, during that time. Beat Stephen Thompson, questionable, right? And then fights Tyron Woodley, and then gets beat by Tyron Woodley. And then he for the title. He loses to Tyron Woodley, right? That was the big setback for Darren Till. Then he fights Jorge Masvidal, and then Jorge Masvidal knocks him out. And then Jorge Masvidal goes on the streak that he's going on, right? Nobody could predict that Jorge Masvidal was going to do that to Darren Till, but he did. And then he goes to middleweight. And the first fight at middleweight you give Darren Till is Kelvin Gastelum as the co-main event to a Madison Square Garden card. Do you understand how big that is to give Darren Till, who is still relatively young in his MMA journey to be in the UFC, going from the knockout loss to Jorge Masvidal to then fighting Kelvin Gastelum on the co-main event. I believe that fight card was, if I'm not mistaken, was that fight card Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz? I think it is. I think that was the card. Let me see right now, real quick. Yes. It was the co-main event to one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year with Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz with the BMX. All that spotlight, all that attention on. I was there. I seen the fan base come up for Darren Till. It was great. He was the co-main event and loses to Kelvin. I mean, he wins by split decision to Kelvin Gastelum. So his last two wins were a split decision. And then, he fights Rob Whittaker next. And it's like every single time Darren Till steps into the octagon, he's fighting the best of the best of the best. Even though he's winning narrowly by split decision, the UFC continues to give him the best of the best. And that's only because they see Darren Till and they see his fan base and they want to push him to the moon. And that's great. At the same time, though, if you're seeing that he's not winning these things clearly, and he's seeing that it seems like there are doubts, and he seems like he are pushing too far, don't keep pushing him that way. Because then now you find himself in this position where Darren Till has lost to Rob Whittaker, who's the best of best. Rob Whittaker is a former champion. He's a title contender now. Kevin Gastelum, that was a split decision. Could have gone either way. Derek Brunson now just getting dominated, utterly dominated, and then submitted in the way he did. You're losing Darren Till's star power. You're losing that. Instead of gradually bringing him up the ladder, maybe you do pick out opponents that fit his style. Maybe you do start with somebody a type like a Kevin Holland and then work your way up. When you push him against the top of the top, now he's stuck on that level, and now we can only see Darren Till on that level. So anytime we see Darren Till have a bad performance or have a split decision or have any of the, now we have to rate him as that. And that's the issue. Like Darren Till's on a high pedestal, and I feel bad for him because he didn't get time to grow and kind of work his way up that rung and gradually grow. They try to thrust Darren Till down our throats. Now Darren Till is stuck in a position where a loss like this hurts him significantly. And now you can't see Darren Till as that pay-per-view draw, as that box office draw, as somebody that can be a superstar in the UFC. Now you see that star power dwindle because of the way you pushed Darren Till. And that's my issue with that. So I feel bad for Darren Till. Maybe he can turn it around. But I'll be lying to say I'm a little pessimistic to see at where he's at right now in his career. I gotta be honest. The UFC is hoping that Till can fill in for Bisping in that UK market because Bisping is no longer fighting. I think that's true. I also think at the time they hated Tyron Woodley and they thought that, we could put Darren Till can go in there and beat Tyron Woodley, and we don't have to deal with Tyron Woodley anymore. And then Darren Till loses to Tyron Woodley. They didn't want to do Stephen Thompson again. So they decided to go with Darren Till. They decided to put Darren Till against Stephen Thompson, and then Darren Till beat Stephen Thompson by split decision, even though it could have gone either way. Maybe he should have fought one more time or whatever, but they did. They said, you know what? Let's rush Darren Till to the moon, and then he loses to Tyron Woodley, and then he's back on the main event against Jorge Masvidal, and then he loses to Jorge Masvidal. And then, okay, we're going to take a step back. Then he fights Kevin Gastelum in a new weight class. Okay, new weight class. Oh, Darren Till's going to be this, he's going to run through everybody. Fight Kevin Gastelum, split decision there. And then he fights Rob Whittaker next. Like, there was never a moment in Darren Till's where it's a step back. Let's let him show out. Let's let him fight somebody. Let's get him get acclimated to the weight class. No, he's fighting the best of the best of the best every time he goes in there. And maybe he's not ready to do that. So as someone that is matchmaking, you don't matchmake somebody that is not ready for that level if you want to make him into a future title contender, which I know they want to do. They want to do with Izzy Adesanya and Till, but you have to gradually. You can't rush that. Anyway, I'm done with Darren Till and Brunson. Good win for Brunson. Hopefully Darren Till can work this out and maybe, prove the doubters wrong, prove me wrong, and go out there and be what the UFC had promoted him to be and wanted him to be, and that is this dominant middleweight contender that will be fighting for a champion. Maybe even go to you could go to Wembley Stadium and fill that out. Like maybe that is what the end game will be. I just can't say right now. Moving on. Other fights I thought was good on the card. Paddy Plumlet. So about that for a second. So Paddy Plumlet defeats Luigi Vadaramini. I hope I'm saying that name right. I was calling Luigi. Paddy Plumlet was being promoted like crazy. I've heard about him before the UFC. He was making noise outside the UFC as well. So it's not like he's been buzzing. And he showed why. He had a great performance. Definitely was a highlight reel. Definitely entertaining. I have a little brother. My little brother loves Paddy Plumlet, Paddy the Baddy. I think the one thing I would say is I wonder how he deals with other lightweights, with how stacked that division is. I wonder how he deals with that. I would love to see his defense show a lot more than what he did. I thought his head was up in the air a little bit. I thought he had too many openings. And when you look at that knockout, you can clearly see a clash of heads, and then Paddy Plumlet goes on the tear that he does. But there was a clash of heads, and that's nobody's fault. But you know, if that clash of heads didn't happen, how does that fight continue going? That's a big question. Defense needs some work. Other than that, I think that he, it's hard to say exactly how good he is right now. But we've seen definitely entertaining. I don't know if he replaces Conor McGregor. I think nobody can do that, but I definitely think there is some potential in Paddy Pimblett. Again, give him matchups. Give him matches that favor him. Give him matchups that work to his style, and then you can gradually see him get better and better and evolve. And I think he's only 25. I think he's only like 25 years old or whatever. So definitely don't rush him to the wolves and try to make him into this big star yet. Give him, or he's already started. 26 years old. 26. He'll be 27 in July, so that's not bad. Yeah, slowly get him up there. Let him fight guys that are close to his level, or maybe even go even below that, and let him run through them. Let him continue to work on things behind the scenes, and then when you're ready to push him and you're ready to make him to this big star, boom, he's ready. He's ready to go. Yeah, so I thought it was good. I thought, again, there are some things to look at in this fight and go, oh, I don't know about that, but he definitely has that star potential. I would definitely say that. And that blitz at the end, man, when he has his hands down, so kind of, again, he has his hands down, he doesn't tuck his chin, but when he let his hands go, oof. I want to see what he does next. Molly McCann had a great performance. Kind of bullied her opponent. I'm not gonna butcher her name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say Kim. I thought it was a good performance. I thought I may have had Kim winning that fight, being honest with you. I thought Kim landed the cleaner shots. I thought Molly walked forward and was pressuring and was in her face, but I thought Kim did land the cleaner shots in that fight. So I don't know. It could have gone either way. I'm not mad at it. But I did at one point thought I had Kim winning. Khalil Roundtree beating I'm not gonna put what's his name? Modestas Bukakas? Hope I said the name right. I would say this about them. He's had a tough go. He has had a tough go since going to the UFC. Lost to Jimmy Crute, lost to Michelle I'm not pronouncing that name. Lost to Michelle and then lost to Khalil Roundtree. He's had a tough round of opponents. So interesting to see what the UFC does with him. He's only 27 years old, so things could happen in the light heavyweight division. For Khalil Roundtree, that's the first time I've seen a oblique kick that ends a fight. I think that's the first time or was that a side kick to the knee that ends a fight. So that was impressive. Lastly, last but not least, Tom Aspinall, man. Tom Aspinall is somebody I'm loving to see every time I can see him fight. Tom Aspinall, heavyweight, beats Sergey Spivak by knockout. I'm very interested in seeing him fight and see how he does. I think that he's somebody that whoever his manager is deserve praise as hell. The way they've handled him, the way that they're not rushing him to the wolves, the way that they're letting him get experience, the way that they're letting him kind of work his way up the ladder and kind of get better. And so when he finally makes that big jump to being a title contender, he's ready. I thought they're doing a phenomenal job working with him and mentoring him and pushing him in the right direction. I love that the fact that if you watch the end of the fight, he hooked the arm. So Spivak all Spivak had to go was to his right. And then when he goes his right, when he goes to the right, boom, knee to the body, hit him with the elbow, and it was over from there. I thought it was a great performance. Roundtree, a lot of people are saying that kicks should be banned. It's a career-ending shot for sure. A lot of people say that. However, it's an MMA fight. I don't like that. To me, that's part of the game. It's part of the game. I don't see much wrong with that being used. At the end of the day, it's a fight. And I thought that, nothing wrong with that. I've seen John Jones throw an oblique kick or a side kick for years. Khalil Roundtree's not the only one to do that. And he won't be the only one. We've seen leg kicks. We've seen, calf kicks being introduced. Like, it's not the end. What I will say is that maybe we see something down the line where we see somebody try to defend that, and that creates a new wave, or how to counter that. I don't think that's something that should be banned. I think that's something that should be figured out, and how to counter that, how to defend that, how to work around that, because that's MMA at its finest. Figuring out these different styles and how to counteract that and utilize your own. So overall, looking at this card, I thought I had a fun time watching it. Glad Potter, you can give you a rating for it as well. I had a fun time watching it. Even the main event I thought was interesting. It kept my attention, just because I was curious to see how Darren Till deals with opposition. Sorry, and how does Derek Brunson keep that pace? Paddy Pimblett, great debut. Tom Aspinall, I think he's becoming one of my favorite heavyweights to watch. Period. Any organization, any division, any organization, I think he is one of my favorite heavyweights to watch right now. All of it. I loved all of it. If I give my rating, I would give it a solid A-. I thought it was a good card. A bunch of stuff to go back and watch, and I thought that for the time it was early during the day, I had a fun time watching it. So that's my rating for it. Flathead Potter says he gave it a B+. It was a good show for sure. Enjoyed the watch along. Yeah, enjoyed having the watch along, man. And the watch along was good. In that Discord, we watched the fights together. We talked about it a little bit. But UFC, unfortunately, we can't stream it. Like, I know people wanted to come in and watch and stream it. We can't stream it. One, because they won't let that happen, and then two, because it's like it won't allow you to stream the thing through the computer and then also watch at the same time. So that's an issue. But being able to you guys watch it and we're watching it together, and we're talking about it in live chat or whatever, that's fun. So we'll definitely be doing that for the UFC pay-per-view coming up as well, in September 22nd, I believe it is. That's fun. That's fun. There will be no fights next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the week, because again, this whole change is kind of abrupt, and this is a big transition. So I'm going to take, again, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm sorry to have to do this. I'm going to take a week to figure things out, figure out scheduling, figure out maybe a new way of doing these things, maybe a new way of being able to put out content and edit and do everything like that, organizing better, because I am doing this solo and I'm going to be doing more consistently. So yeah, we're gonna you can stream and just show screenshots in there. Let me see. You can stream it and just show screenshots here and there and kind of narrate and talk about the fight as it happens. You talking about on Discord? You talking about on Discord? Because the thing with Discord, sorry. See, okay, so you said screenshots. See, the thing about that is, I once did that for I once did this for what's it called? It was one of the, I think it was Volkov versus Overeem. I did something like that. And when I did that, they gave me a copyright strike. After I did that, they gave me a copyright strike and told me to take it down. And I think that's why I think I deleted that video off immediately. So yeah, ever since then, I'm kind of like, I still have to figure out what exactly is fair game with these. Because yeah, I think I did do something similar to that. I tried to, and I wanted to do this with it. I tried to get video or clips from a fight night and then post it on the show the next day, or pitched or whatever, and then they took it down. Well, it gave me a copyright strike. So that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck with it. I'm not gonna see, play games and try to see what can get around, because I don't want to lose the channel at all, which I'm trying to help build. Yeah, I gotta figure something out. Maybe I'll figure something out. You know me, I'll figure a way out of anything. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I'm gonna take take the week. It's Labor Day weekend. You guys have a nice weekend as well. UFC is back September 18th. Hopefully, I have some news for you then. I'm gonna try to work on things behind the scenes. Try to work on these interviews. I'm trying to work on getting a contender series fighter for this interview. So maybe I'll try to plan that out during this week. And yeah, so again, we're gonna be taking a break. Quick break. I'm sorry, 1 week break. I'm gonna try to figure things out. I'm gonna try to figure out how do I post better, how do I edit better, how do I put things out more consistently in the schedule, so that way once we're gone, we're gone. Like we're going at it. Because I don't want to BS you guys and just like I do it 1 week and then don't. No, I want to do it consistently, give you guys a certain level. And I didn't predict that I'll be doing this solo, but here we are. So we're going to go on this ride together. I'm going to keep doing this. Please tell me if you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribe, please. And tell me what you think overall. If you like it, you hate it, any criticism, anything like that, I definitely appreciate that. And we're going to keep growing. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Seems like September 18th for what's it is Span versus Smith, which that should be interesting, I guess. And we'll talk about it. So until then, my name is Tyriece Simon. This has been MMA Renegade episode 15. Have a nice day, guys. Also, stay safe, guys.